Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. Now we're going into our final segment of the night, and I'm happy to have with me Brianna Bigham with Meals on Wheels people. Thanks for being here, Brianna.
Thank you.
You have been on the show before, and we know each other, and you are actually a neighbor of MetroEast, right down the street in the county building there. So it's really nice to see you here at the studio again.
Thank you.
You have been with Meals on Wheels people, how long?
It's been, let's see, it's been almost 7 years actually. Yeah.
I was going to say, I thought it'd been quite a while. Tell us a little bit about, I know most people kind of have an idea of what you do, but give us a little history and what your mission actually is, if you don't mind.
So I think that it's best described, with our mission, which is that we are aiming to make sure that no senior goes hungry or experiences social isolation. So everybody thinks of Meals on Wheels as the food coming to your house, and that is really important. Food is obviously life-sustaining.
Yes.
Everybody wants to
everybody
eat, right?
needs food, right.
But the more important part of it, I think sometimes, is the connection that our drivers have with our homebound clients, as well as my dining room. So you mentioned I'm right down the street. I have a dining room where people come every day, and it's a family. I mean, I have to ask people, please tell me if you're going to go on a trip, because if they don't come in, I'm going to have 4 people come up and say, can you call them? Are they okay?
Wow.
Yeah, and so it really.
So you have regulars.
We do, yeah. And I think that's a really important part that over the years has become more and more obvious to me as I've been there long enough to really see the community grow and change and the relationships built. So,
wow, that's really, I know that's really important, and it's not something I really thought about when I first knew about Meals on Wheels. I thought you're always going out and providing food, but really there's a lot of people who have very little social interaction, especially if they are homebound, if they can't get out.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times people just kind of isolate as they get older. They're losing their friends, or their health isn't good enough, or all sorts of reasons, right?
Yeah, and I actually recently had some high schoolers come in, and I was showing them around and what we do and encouraging them to volunteer. And I told them, you go to school every day. That's your life. Your friends are your life. This is your job. I come to work every day, and this is my job. And then a lot of the new retirees, they're volunteering, and that's their purpose. But what about when you get to the point where you can't do those things anymore?
Right.
I mean, we really underestimate in this society how much our jobs and what we do with our life impacts who we are. And so, Meals on Wheels is trying to kind of give that back to people.
That's really important. I really hadn't thought of it that way, but you're right, because if you no longer can go out and do the things that you do, I imagine your feelings of self-worth maybe would be impacted by that, or it's like, I'm not important to anybody anymore.
And to have someone come to your house and ask how you're doing and chat with you, bring you a birthday card. And it's not just a one-way thing. I think that's what I've really started to realize is it's our drivers, our volunteers, it means a lot to them too. So it's definitely a two-way street.
So they're getting as much out of it as they're putting into it.
I think that's one of the things that I hear a lot is that, I thought I was doing this to help the community. I didn't realize how much I would like the people I'm serving.
How great is that?
Yeah, right?
I know, and that's, I think, one of the best things about volunteering is really you usually get as much out of it as you put into it.
Yeah.
So tell me, it's been a couple of years, I think, since you've been on the show. What's changed since then?
So there is a center at, I think it's 181st and just north of Burnside.
In the Human Solutions building there?
Yeah, Human Solutions building. That center is an Ambleside kind of satellite site, so we're running that. There's a day-to-day person, and they're serving meals on site, but they're no longer running the home delivery meals, and that's all coming out of Ambleside.
And that's the name of your location.
Our site, yeah.
For those who don't know. No, that's okay.
That's a bit of Gresham history, so it's funny because our longtime Gresham people know that Ambleside means Gresham because that was a train stop long ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right?
See, I've heard Ambleside, but I didn't know that.
I know, but we are to the point where now, some of our clients know it, some of them don't. we'll see if
I never even thought to ask
Yeah.
where that name came from.
we're gonna keep that train stop alive.
So the Ambleside Center down on the corner of, what is it?
8th and Kelly.
8th and Kelly.
So
Kelly. I was trying to remember. Yeah.
So that is kind of, we're the parent site, and then Rockwood also offers meals. There are actually 30 sites in the Portland metro area.
Wow.
So between Washington County, Clark County, and Multnomah County. And it's really cool because each one kind of has their thing, their niche.
Yeah.
And it's very styled around kind of who their clients are, who their staff is, and who their volunteers are. And I love that
Yeah.
everybody kind of has a place.
So if you are a senior and you want to get a hot meal every day and you can get yourself there, do you have to go to the one in your area? Can you go to different ones?
You can go to anyone. In fact, you can register at my center if you're 60 and over, and then go take a tour of Meals on Wheels. That's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Just kind of hit them up and make
Right.
your.
Yep.
This week I'm going to.
Yeah. So the home delivered all goes through central intake, and then it gets kind of dispersed out to the nearest center to the client. But really those dining centers are kind of for whatever feels comfortable to you, where your friends go.
Yeah, right. Where your friends go, that's probably a big part of it. So do you have a need for more volunteers?
Oh my goodness, do we ever? Yeah. So at Ambleside Center, we are currently putting out about 280 home delivered meals every day.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're doing that with 17 to 18 routes depending on the day. And we cover everything east of 164th. So we're going all the way out to the Multnomah County line in Corbett, and we're serving, Rockwood. Yeah, and everything in between.
Wow.
And so we have some super dedicated volunteers, but the truth is with that many people, there's always going to be someone sick, someone on vacation.
Right.
You know, we always tell drivers, you don't have to give us your life. It is okay if you actually want to go somewhere, just let us know. And because of that, of course, sometimes we have to find substitutes.
Right.
So we currently have routes open every day, and then we always have a need for people who have a GPS and wouldn't mind if we just called them at 9 in the morning and said, are you available? And they say yes or no.
So how much flexibility is there as a volunteer? I mean, do you have to commit to a certain amount of hours a week you work, or what? How does that work?
Kind of the standard is, if you're going to drive, is 2 hours a week. So you choose a route, you adopt it. This is the route that you do. So you get to know the people, and also because it's frustrating if you're constantly having to learn a new route.
Right.
Some people are all for it. Some people not so much.
No, I wouldn't be. But
No.
And 2 hours a week, that's easy.
It's not so bad.
And so are you going to get the same people then? So you'll get to know those people,
Yeah,
right? And you'll get to
exactly.
know what's normal for them?
Yes. And they get to know what's normal for you. So we tell them, when you sign up, well, you're in this area, we know who the driver is, but there's 3 different drivers between 5 days, or there's a different driver every day. And they kind of learn, it's funny, if we have somebody who kind of goes out later in our delivery window, then if we show up early, they'll be like, oh, where is that person? What's going on
And they
today?
probably worry about them.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I say that I ask clients to tell us when they're going on vacation, but it's the same with volunteers. We get a lot of calls asking where their driver is.
Well, they build relationships with them. Yeah. So I imagine then when your drivers go out, then if there's an issue like so-and-so was acting funny today, there's, I suspect that maybe they had a stroke or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of get a feel for those people, right? And they can maybe refer them.
And that's super valuable. So if a driver comes to me and they say, I didn't get an answer and this person answers every day and I'm really worried, we are going to first call emergency contacts. And if somebody doesn't answer, kind of depending on, what the pattern is, we might wait a little bit for emergency contacts, or we might call for a well check. And we once had somebody that had answered every single day for 6 years and didn't answer one day. And we didn't even mess around. It was so out of character that we immediately called the police, and they found her needing medical attention.
Wow. So you really could have saved her life.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably
that's
did.
really what we're there for, and that's not what people think about. But that's especially if you're an adult and you're trying to work and you've got kids that you're raising and you're worried about mom and dad, sometimes just having one extra person check in during the day is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. So who can have Meals on Wheels delivered to them?
Meals on Wheels is for anybody 60 and over. So if they're not homebound, we ask that they come into the center, and if they are homebound, we deliver it to them. And for some people, it's a matter of, I'd like to get out, but my body doesn't feel up to 5 days a week, we have some people that, we deliver to them a couple days a week, and then if they feel up to coming in for bingo, then that's okay.
That's great. And you're in the same building with Ride Connection, and they probably do some of that, bringing people into the
They do.
there.
We work really closely with Ride Connection.
Yeah.
They bring a lot of our clients in.
And you also have the Gresham Senior Center right
Yes.
there too. So I love that.
The whole building is so cool because you can come have coffee in our dining room at 9. You can go to a dance class at the Senior Center. You can, there's a volunteer library at the Senior Center and an art room and all these cool things. Ride Connection can bring you there. If you need to see a caseworker, you can do that, and then you can come back for lunch at 11:30.
That's great.
It's a good setup.
You got your whole social activities planned for the day.
Exactly.
So now the funding for this, is this through the county, or where do you get the funding from?
There are some government funds that come in. So whether it's through the county or federal funding, that is a portion of our funding. It's actually not the majority. It's very small in comparison to the total meal. We rely heavily on fundraisers and generous, donors and sponsors.
Okay. And if somebody's benefited from it, like their parents or aunt and uncle or somebody has benefited, those are probably people that are going to be the first ones to donate, I would think and hope. So do you have any fundraisers coming up? Or?
Yes. Actually, it's not here in Gresham, but there is what's called Summer in September over in North Portland on September 10th, and that's noon to 6. That is a really cool event. It's kind of a Meals on Wheels People signature event.
Oh.
And it's a really fun day. Barbecue, jambalaya.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Right?
So could we go to just the Meals on Wheels website?
Yeah, mealsonwheelspeople.org.
Okay, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so that's coming up on September 10th, you said.
September 10th. Yep.
And you probably have things going on throughout the year.
We do, and we're here in East County. We're actually prepping for the Soup Bowl, which will be our 3rd annual event, and that's a really fun event.
Not the Super Bowl, the Soup Bowl.
The Soup Bowl, yeah.
I love that. That's good.
And it's February 19th, and the reason I bring that up is that this year we're trying to bring in some art for it.
Oh.
So if any artists in the area have pottery that they want to donate or art that they want to donate.
Is it for it to auction off? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the Soup Bowl started with one generous friend of mine who does pottery at the farmer's market here, and she was willing to donate some pottery bowls along with a friend. And so we started, saying if you buy the bowl, then we'll give you soup for free. And the bowls are such a hit. They're just beautiful.
I love that. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
It's actually been so successful that we're expanding it this year. So we're just looking for a little bit more art to beef up the event.
You have to hit up that list of people that were at the Gresham Art Festival recently and see if they can donate. But yeah, why not? That and that makes it even that much more fun, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So what about the volunteers? Getting back to them, what are the qualifications to be a volunteer?
Yeah.
What do you need?
So to drive, you need to be 18 or drive with a parent. Kids are some of the favorite volunteers.
Really?
Yeah, everybody loves when kids deliver the meals.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. And you know what? I think that's a great experience for a kid.
It is, totally. I think that it's such an important thing for youth to get involved in something other than, kind of
they
their
need
own
to learn
world.
that early on, that life does not revolve around them, and that it's part of being a good citizen to give back to your community.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
wonderful. So if they're under 18, then they need to have a parent ride with them?
Yeah, they can ride along with mom or dad.
Okay.
Over 18, you have your own car. We're able to reimburse for mileage, but it is a personal vehicle thing. And of course, you have to pass a background check because you are going to clients' homes.
Right.
But having said that, there's a lot of other needs. I mean, you think about it, 18 routes a day, and each one has 2 to 3 coolers. Somebody's got to pack those coolers and clean the coolers. Yeah. So, and then in addition, feeding people in our dining room means that somebody, we're doing traditional kitchen work and dining room work as well.
So are those mostly volunteers in the dining room? Wow.
Yeah. We have 3 staff members on site, and all the rest of it is
so you're pretty volunteer heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and what a great place to volunteer.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like kind of a feel-good job. I think you feel good about it.
So.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm biased, but personally, I think it's a good experience.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
What else do we need to know about Meals on Wheels people before I let you go here, Brianna?
So we just need to get the word out that if 8th and Kelly is not convenient, every center needs help.
Okay.
Rockwood Center needs help. Like I mentioned, there are so many centers in the
30,
Portland
you
metro
said?
area.
30 some?
30, yeah. And you can find out about all those centers going to mealsonwheelspeople.org.
Okay.
If you go to that, you can actually sign up to be a volunteer, and a volunteer coordinator can even connect you with the center closest to you or the center that has needs that you're specifically interested in.
That's great. You make it very easy.
Thank
That's
you.
wonderful. I'm going to let you go then because we're just about out of time, but I think that's a great organization, and I like the flexibility of the things you can do, and the amount of time you're going to donate to it kind of varies there, so that's you make it easy.
Thank you
Right.
so much for having me on.
You're
I
welcome,
love talking
Brianna.
about it.
Thank you very much, and thanks for watching Community Hotline tonight. Hope you've learned something. Hope you've been inspired to help some other people, whether it be kids at the Portland Kitchen, or whether it be the Meals on Wheels people, seniors, or whatever it is, or donate your kidney and get on the list. There's a lot of important work going on in this community, so get involved. I'm Monica Weitzel. This is Community Hotline, and we'll see you here next week.
What local community media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.